Have you ever had your entire future, your deepest dreams, ripped away from you in one crushing, horrifying confession? What if the woman you loved, the one you were ready to build a life with, revealed she was secretly pregnant by her ex and then casually expected you to give up everything for it? It all happened one night at a party. My girlfriend, Sophia, had way too much to drink, and in her drunken stupor, she spilled a secret so utterly insane to one of my friends that it still makes my stomach churn. She told him she'd been hooking up with her ex, Brendan, behind my back. Not only that, she was pregnant by him. And the kicker? She planned to make me drop out of my dream college to support her and this baby. My friend, bless his heart, found me immediately to tell me. Hearing that was like a physical punch to the gut. I was shattered.
Heartbroken. Confused.
Sophia and I had been together since sophomore year of high school. I pictured our whole future. Marriage, a family, everything. And now this? It felt impossible to believe, but then pieces of the past started clicking into place. I remembered senior year. She'd often talk about how serious we were getting, how our parents adore us together. But then she'd say she wanted to explore the world and try new things before settling down. She'd constantly ask if I felt we were rushing into things too quickly. I never thought we were. We'd been together for 3 years. I used to tell her we could explore the world together. But now, with a sickening clarity, I understood. She meant exploring other people. There was another incident. Also senior year. I glanced at her phone while she was sitting next to me and saw her texting Brendan, her ex. I asked her about it and she brushed it off, saying they only dated in freshman year. Puppy love. Nothing serious. But we gotten together in sophomore year, so that still felt weird. I told her I wasn't comfortable with her constantly texting him, worried it would hurt us. But she just laughed, saying, "Babe, I've been here for 3 years. I'm not going anywhere." I let it slide. A few months later, she started asking if she could hang out with him. Again, I really didn't like it, but I allowed it. I was heading off to college soon, and I knew we'd have to trust each other. Fast forward to today, and that same guy, Brendan, was the one who got my girlfriend pregnant. And she actually expected me to raise his child. The next day, my head was still spinning. Shock, hurt, confusion, it was a whirlwind. But one thing was clear. I had to confront Sophia. I couldn't just let this slide. My heart was pounding as I walked up to her parents' house. When she opened the door, she looked surprised to see me, but there was also this flicker of guilt in her eyes. I guess she remembered what she'd said. We sat on the couch, and I just laid it all out. "Sophia, what did you tell my friend last night?" She immediately denied it, of course. Said it was a funny joke she made while drunk. Neither of us was laughing. I reached into my pocket and pulled out a pregnancy test I'd bought on the way over. "Prove to me it's not true," I said, my voice shaking. Her eyes went wide when she recognized it. "If you can't take this test, then we can't work out." My heart, stupidly, still wanted to be with her. But my head was screaming. She cheated on you. She lied to you. She wants to throw away your future for hers. She tried to deny it again, to flip it back on me. "You don't trust me? Then maybe we shouldn't be together." "I'm leaving," I told her, standing up. "We're done." She grabbed my arm, desperate. And then she confessed. She was a few weeks along. It was an accident. "Just one time," she sobbed. She wanted me to be the father because I was a better person. She broke down, repeating over and over that she loved me, not him, that it was just a mistake. I already knew the answer before I walked in, but hearing it come out of her mouth, it still broke me. I honestly believed we had something real, something that would last. I left that day, but her calls and texts didn't stop. It hurt, seeing her name light up my phone, knowing I had to ignore it for my own sanity. When she finally realized I wasn't responding, she showed up at my parents' house. My mom answered the door, and Sophia just stood there, head bowed in shame. I walked down the stairs, exhausted. "What do you want?" I asked.
She just wanted to talk.
I agreed, but made her promise. After this, she had to leave me alone. We went to my room. The moment she sat on my bed, she burst into tears again, saying she felt scared and alone, begging me to take her back. "I just want one thing from you," I said. She looked up, hopeful. "What is it?" "A paternity test," I told her. "Because if it comes back as mine, I'll take care of the child. But I still won't be with you." She practically snapped upright. "Why not?" she demanded. I was in utter disbelief. I actually had to explain to her, again, that the reason I wouldn't be with her, regardless of the test, was because she cheated on me with her ex-boyfriend. "But it was only one time," she argued. "Yeah," I said. "That one time was my black swan event. Like it or not, I can never see you the same way again." Before I walked away from her completely, I needed to know if I was a father. My dad always taught me no child deserves to grow up without one. I think she was deluded enough to believe that if she took the test, I'd take her back. Because in that moment, she dried her tears and actually started smiling, saying she'd do it tomorrow morning. I explicitly told her that wasn't what it meant. But her delusions, man, they got the best of her. She was convinced that just because I was talking to her, we were back together. I still have no idea how she managed to extrapolate that from my words. Nevertheless, the next day, she took the test. The doctor sent it off, and we were told it would be a few weeks for the results. In the meantime, she tried everything to hang out with me, constantly calling about things that had nothing to do with the baby. I maintained my stance. I'd be there for her until we knew the results. But she took it a few steps too far. She'd show up at my house unannounced, even tried to get intimate with me. I constantly had to remind her we were not together, and she should only call me if it was about the baby. She'd claim the baby could feel her sadness as an excuse to hang out or have me buy her food. Those weeks were agonizing. They took a severe toll on my mental health. I was trying to be there for Sophia, while simultaneously mourning the relationship we once had. If you've ever tried to get over someone while still having to see them every single day, you know that pain. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the results were in. The baby wasn't mine. Sophia broke down again. Crying, she told me I'd been an amazing partner, even when we weren't together, and begged me to take on the role of father in the child's life. I told her she needed to talk to Brendan, since he was the father. That's when she admitted Brendan told her he was too young to care for a kid and wanted her to terminate the pregnancy. He said if she carried it to term, he'd make her a single mother. But she didn't listen, because she just assumed I'd take care of it. I told her, bluntly, that it wasn't my responsibility anymore. I had my answer. It did hurt, deep down, knowing that child would grow up without a dad. But it was also a bittersweet relief to know I wouldn't be stuck with a manipulator, forced to co-parent with her for the rest of my life. The following months, I was a mental wreck. My friends rallied around me, checking in regularly. Sophia, on the other hand, went completely insane when she realized I was actually done. She'd stalk my social media, watching my stories, viewing my profile every day to make sure I wasn't with anyone else. When that wasn't enough, she started contacting my mom. Then my dad called me. He actually asked if I was neglecting a child that was mine. Sophia had shown up at their house, saying I'd gotten her pregnant and abandoned her and our son. She was clearly showing by this point a little over 6 months along, and they'd even had a gender reveal for the boy she was carrying. I told him she was lying, delusional. I didn't have the paternity test to prove it anymore, but I reminded him of the values he instilled in me. I would have raised that baby if it was mine. I told him to let Mom know she was lying on my name and that she cheated on me with her ex, Brendan. My dad apologized for accusing me without talking to me first, saying he should have known to trust me. I forgave him, hung up, and raced home. I tore through my room, frantically searching for that paternity test. When I found it and showed my mom, the second her eyes started racing across that piece of paper, I saw her rage instantly turn to profound sadness. She apologized, her voice thick with regret, saying Sophia had made it sound so believable that she'd cried in her arms about me abandoning our child. With my mom on my side, Sophia lost her last ally. She spiraled into depression. Brendan wanted nothing to do with the baby either. She tried everything to win me back, sending gifts, showing up unannounced at my house, even my job, begging for another chance. But I never gave her the reaction she wanted, never engaged. Then one night, my phone rang. It was Sophia. Her voice was hysterical. Crying, cracking, she started saying how she couldn't live without me, that she didn't want to live without me. I told her she needed to see a therapist. She begged again for me to be with her. And then, the words that sent a jolt of panic through me, she'd take her life and the babies if I wouldn't be with her again. Despite everything, I didn't want her to hurt herself. "Stay on the phone with me," I said, trying to keep her talking. I muted my phone and, using my home phone, I called the police. I stayed on the line until I heard them arrive. They got there just in time, preventing her from harming herself. They took her to a mental hospital for treatment. That night was a turning point. The whole ordeal finally made me realize just how toxic and truly manipulative Sophia had been. With her out of my life, getting the help she so desperately needed, I could finally focus on rebuilding my own. I went through a range of emotions: relief, anger, sadness. It wasn't easy, but with the unwavering support of my friends and family, I found the strength to move on. Soon enough, it was time for me to go to college. Months passed, and gradually, life regained a sense of normalcy. I made new friends, joined clubs, even started dating again, though a lot more cautiously this time. Sophia remained in the back of my mind, but as a distant memory. One evening, as I was studying for midterms, my phone buzzed. It was the friend who'd first told me about Sophia's confession. He wanted to grab something to eat while I was home for the weekend. He said he had something to celebrate. I wasn't sure what, but I agreed. I hadn't seen him since I left for college. At the restaurant, he grinned, sliding an envelope across the table. "Open it," he said. Inside was a letter from all my friends back home, telling me how much they loved and missed me, and how proud they were that I made it to my dream college. It touched my heart so deeply. It felt incredible to have that kind of support system by my side, especially after everything. Sitting there, surrounded by people who genuinely cared, feeling hopeful about the future, I realized I had come out stronger on the other side. Sophia's betrayal had nearly broken me, but it had also, in a strange way, created a new beginning. I'd learned to truly value the people who stood by me and to never, ever let anyone else define my worth. Have you ever had to cut ties with someone so deeply ingrained in your life, only to find yourself stronger and more sure of who you are? Tell me your story in the comments below. I really want to hear it.